What's going on? Darnell Alexander here, aka Mr. Fat Wings, but this is Zan Man Chronics. And I'm gonna tell you, we are on episode number 6, and we are literally at a point to where I can start remembering better the order, the things that happen. If you haven't already, subscribe to the channel if you like to. This channel is not meant and purpose to tell a story to bash people or bash my stepdaughter or anything like that, or some of the deadbeat. I mean, oops, did I say deadbeat dads? Oh, it is not to really bash, but I'm gonna just be straight up, straightforward with it, telling the truth, bringing it all to fruition. Because this right here, guys, I'm 10 years in on raising me and my wife, raising my stepdaughter's kids. 10 years, guys, where me and my wife, where we thought we were going to be living our lives. I'm 56, going to be 57 this year. Obviously, it's the new year. Happy New Year, by the way. And man, I wasn't expecting this. The youngest that we have is barely 2.5 years old. The one next to him is barely just over 3 years old. Three plus three. I mean, going on 4. She'll be 4 in August. Man. Then it's a 6, then it's a 9, then it's a 12, then it's a 14. When we got the 14-year-old steadily, now mind you, we have been in and out from the beginning of every birth, every child. She never did it on her own completely. Number 1 is 14, be 15 this year. We got him when he was 4. Okay, so anyway, we set up that. Go back and listen to the other episodes, but check this out. Episode 6, the reason why we're raising all 6 of my stepdaughter's grandbabies. Well, here we go. We had the first two boys. So she left, came back, got back to Texas, trying to go play house in St. Louis. It didn't work out. Came back home. A lot of things transpired. Well, she came home after the fact. We came home and already had the boys. Because remember, I told you we went and got them. She came back and she tried to pick up where she left off, but she really just was out there going back and forth. Now, mind you, I told you in one episode that she was going to an alternative school where she was meeting guys, not coming home for the first baby, all this stuff, and back and forth with all that. Well, obviously, she met a guy in that school. She connected back up with this guy when she came back. They ended up connecting. I ended up that same year opening my restaurant, my brick and mortar restaurant in Mesquite, Texas, called Fat Wings. I ended up opening this restaurant, and I ended up thinking, hey, this is it. I had intentions over years. God had given me this vision. I'm going to bring my family together. I'm going to have my family running stuff. Yeah, the girls worked at Fat Wings for about a week. Yeah. Anyway, we'll get to that. But anyhow, she came back. She got with this guy. He didn't have anywhere to live. So she wormed her way back to mommy to ask could she come live with us again. I didn't want her to come live with us. But guess what? I let her because I was going to keep trying. She came back. Guess what? She couldn't even make it a day in our house. I take that back. She made it a night. The next day, we coming from church where she didn't go to church. She was in missing in action, MIA. We took the family to church and we were coming back home. Lo and behold, there she is standing on the street, tipping a 40 with her boo. I didn't know her boo. I met her boo and I didn't like her boo. I didn't like none of the boos because they were some boo-boo willy foo-foos. And the reality is when we pulled up, I jump out like I do. I had to remember I was coming from church because that was so disrespectful. What respectful person to stand in front of somebody's house, no bag, nothing, just a big 40 ounce, tipping it up and just standing there looking crazy? So we told her to walk home, but told Boo Boo don't come with her. You go that way, buddy. So I'm on one. We get home. She don't want to follow no rules. She wants to start mouthing off and thinking she gonna tell us what she gonna do. I told her no. What you're gonna do is you're gonna grab that little bitty bag over there with your 2 or 3 pair of underwear in it, and you're gonna beat the sticks. You're gonna beat bricks. You're gonna hit the road, kick rocks, do whatever you do, but you got to go. So we ended up putting her out. She eventually got, and so I'm jumping through some things, but it's not too much in between. She eventually got an apartment of her own in a Roach Motel type apartment on Military in Pleasant Grove. Everybody knows that hotel. I mean that apartment. It looks like a hotel. It's down near I don't know what those cross streets are anymore. Near Stevenson's Trucking. It's down in that area. She ended up living there. Now the young one, she ended up living there too in another apartment. So when she thought she was doing something, she ended up getting the boys. Man, I'm coming, I'm getting my boys. I got an apartment, Mom, I'm getting my boys. Don't think she had a job. If she did, it was very short lived. I think it was down the street. Now, I'd already tried to give her a job. She couldn't last for a week. She fired herself. I didn't fire her. She fired herself. She just didn't come to work. So, great worker. I'm going to be straight with you. Great worker, great person outside of the lifestyle she was living. I still love her. Great person outside of the lifestyle she was living. She was doing too much and she had gotten caught. But let me tell you why that lifestyle was so detrimental to her life, to everything she had going. She walked away from God completely. She took on the spirit of Jezebel, the spirit of lust, the spirit of all these lustful, fornicating, who knows what you in there doing type of stuff in front of your kids, around your kids, all that. We find out all this stuff down the line. Starting to do K2, you know, that synthetic stuff, that stuff. People calling my wife, telling us she's running around going crazy. My wife like, why you calling me? Call the police. Call an ambulance. Do something. Don't call me. She out there, so my wife is starting to get tired of it because she tried to save them. I told her, you can't save them. You cannot save somebody who does not want to change. She was turning up more and more. At that point, they had already tried to be strippers. They were terrible strippers from what I understand. I don't know, but that's what I was told. I was told that, and it was so crazy because that's nasty off the top. And why are you even going that route where you can go get a job, a job down the street? If you're doing that for the love of money, then you already selling your soul, and you might as well don't ever call yourself a Christian then, or a believer. But you can believe all day, but it's not enough to just believe. Anyway, she's in this little apartment. She's got this dude. I'm not gonna say his name, but let's just for the sake of it, let's call him Bum. This Bum is guys. I'm a little hot on this one because this one set me all the way back. She gets pregnant by Bum, baby number 3. She manages to get all the way through this pregnancy on her own, or pretty much with whatever they got going. The boys still over there, still with her, but by now they lost the apartment and were running around homeless. Homeless with, kind of always fronting about she had somewhere to stay. She was with her boo. She was this, that, and other. She had somewhere to go. We worried about and focused on the boys. What about the boys? So she gets put out, however that came about. She's not living there. And they pretty much on the streets. Luckily and fortunately for her, it was during the hot period, this warm season, the summer. And man, this is where I start. Man, I'm gonna tell you, bro. When you start messing with my babies, we gonna have some serious problems, dude. So a lot of time went by. A lot of things happened over that time. She was pregnant, of course. She slowed down to a degree when she got pregnant. She was still smoking cigarettes, probably still smoking weed. I'm sure still drinking, doing all that and everything else. Bum was still around. They were still homeless, running around with 2 babies and pregnant. So I'm working. No, I'm working. I'm sorry. I didn't get the restaurant quite yet. Well, I got it in the midst of her being pregnant. I opened it in the midst of her being pregnant. Prior to that, I was still coming out of my job and finishing up my last days. Well, she lost that apartment before I opened the restaurant. They didn't work for the week they worked or the few days they worked until after all of this transpired. After all this transpired, before she had the baby. So, but in the middle of that, in the meantime, I was coming from work. I worked a 10 to 2 p.m. shift, way out. I took about 45 minutes to drive home, and that was in like clear traffic. So I'm driving home, and I get a call from wifey, and wifey is like, "Hey, you cool? You good?" I said, "Yeah. It's just starting to rain over here. It's just cool. I'm trying to get home. I'm over here on 30. Blah blah blah." She said, "Hey, yeah, Bomb and let's just, for the sake of this video, let's just call her Doofus. Bomb and Doofus got into it, obviously, and Bomb was able to get somebody to let him get some keys to an old trailer somewhere out in the country somewhere. I don't even know where they at by now. I mean, real talk. I don't even know we don't even know where they at. They just somewhere. Well, she sent my wife a picture of the boys laying on a blanket outside on the ground in the weeds with rain, lightning, and thunder going. And my boys are small. And when I saw their faces on that picture on my phone while I was driving, bro, I almost lost it. I'm doing, I don't know, 90 to 100 plus. I'm dipping in and out of traffic. I'm hot. I'm yelling at my wife. I'm yelling, "I'll call you back. Let me call this buster." I'm on one of those levels, right? Bing. I don't think he really knew it was me because he didn't really. I had exchanged phone numbers with him one day. I could let him help us move, and paid them to do that. But I never called him. I never really talked to him. So when he answered, yeah, boy, I can't repeat, and I wouldn't dare do that because it took me some days of repentance after I was done with him. But my wife got a call back within, felt like seconds, from my excited daughter. "Mom, he let us back in the house, but he left. And now the boys okay, we good, Mama." Y'all good. Okay. Yeah. Anyway, I told dude if I seen him, it was on sight. And he knew I wasn't playing. But I had to calm myself, pray about some things, and tell my wife when I got home, I don't know what we're going to do. This is breaking up our entire family, her and I included. All this back and forth. See, I'm not talking about the stuff in the middle. All the drugs and the starting to graduate from K2 and weed and all that to crack and meth and all that. I haven't gotten to that point quite yet. But she had this baby. I'm going to get to this part right here, and then I'm going to wrap it up. I could talk all day. I told y'all that in one of my episodes. So, skip through some things. All that, got through it. Still homeless. One day she calls my wife and says, "Hey, can you keep the boys?" My wife said, "What do you mean keep the boys? Can you keep them? Can you and Dad keep them?" She said, "No, I'm not keeping them anymore. You're going to raise them. Them your boys. You're going to take care of them." Long story short, she called from a parking lot. Now, mind you, by now we just started the restaurant, probably a couple of months, if that, couple of months. They had already went through this phase of 2 or 3 days of working, trying to help them. All that didn't work out. She she calls. My wife doesn't receive them. Wanted to give her a hard lesson to see if she was gonna do and raise her kids. Well, instead, she calls CPS from a parking lot in Mesquite and says, "I can't raise my kids no more. Come get them." But Bum was hiding with the newborn. That was his baby, his seed. When they showed up, she handed over the two boys and said, "Hey, by the way, my parents have a restaurant in Mesquite. This is where it is, and this is what it's called." I'm cooking. We got an open kitchen. I can look out to the window and see everybody coming in. I see the police pull up. They go to the back door, and I see some little heads pop out. I'm like, what the? My wife was there helping out that night. Hey, babe, the police out there. They look like they got my boys. They come, well, we meet them at the door. I just put somebody on the fries. We meet them at the door. Hey, your daughter said she couldn't raise them no more. The ditch effort was to bring them here before they go into foster. But we got them. Where's the baby? What baby? Police like, she didn't have a baby. They have a newborn. Where's the dude? Was the dude with her? No dude with her. Oh, he was hiding. He was hiding with the baby. They going to play house, but he don't want nothing to do with these two. They not his. They gonna go play house. Let's see how far they get. Oh, well, we gonna double back and go find them. Because she called CPS and said she can't raise her kids. How she gonna raise that one? She homeless? You said she homeless? Yeah, we'll find her. They didn't find them. They like cockroaches, bro. They don't come out in the day. Like vampires. Well, you can tell I'm mad about this because it's starting to come back to memory a lot. But at the same time, I can look at my boys come through that door. 12 and 14 was 4 and 2 at the time. And I'm happy. We laughing, we cracking jokes, we eating, we talking, we good. Well, at that time, we wasn't good. I sit them down, I feed them something. I tell them, boys, y'all gonna be all right. They got scabs on their knees where they've been dragged down the street. They look dirty. They ain't got no clothes, nothing with them. Told my wife, hey, after they eat, go ahead and take them home. Stop at the store here, take this money. She already got money. We got money then. We had some money. She stopped. I said, buy them some clothes, buy them some underwear, get them socks, whatever they need. I'll see you this evening. Well, she couldn't get a hold of Doofus. Doofus wouldn't answer the phone. But Doofus had the nerve to call a few days later, begging my wife to come get the baby. Infant baby. Newborn. Mama, come get her. I can't raise her. We homeless. Well, we knew you was homeless. But you just went through 3 or 4 different jobs. You don't have to be homeless. But she was homeless. My wife ended up going to get the baby. And when I came home that day after working 16 hours and saw that baby added to the other babies, I wasn't happy at all. I was starting to become very frustrated. And I thought I was going to start packing my stuff and leaving. It got bad. We're gonna talk about it together, but we're gonna talk about it on a different level when we come to our next page, where all of my babies are on it, my wife is on it. This is not a bashing session. This is working up to something huge. Please subscribe. Listen to what I'm saying. I know I'm babbling at times, but this story is just coming up to the point of the next baby. When I get to this baby holds a special place in my heart. And I'm going to tell you why, because by now she's on heavy drugs, doing a lot of stuff that would make me, otherwise, if you weren't related, yeah, you wouldn't be around right now, because remember, I'm a 2-time combat action Marine. And I know how to, and I'm from St. Louis, straight out the hood. Enough said. But God, But God, glory to the Father. Amen. And I am not playing, but God. And but where are we at today? God's favor never left us. We went through a lot of tests and a lot of stress, but right now we are Gucci good. Nah, we just good. We ain't nothing about no Gucci. I don't even wear Gucci. I don't even like Gucci. I never listen to Gucci Man music. Anyway, we good by the grace of God. You guys have a great day. We just had baby number 3 enter in. An infant. I'm working 16 a day. My wife is still working. We have to pay for everything. They not in no state foster care or nothing. We paying for everything. And it's starting to tighten up. Y'all have a great day. God bless you. This was episode number 6. I am Darnell Zan Man Alexander, and this is Zan Man Chronicles. Be blessed.
It's all in the way. It's all in the way you love me.
I love the way you love, Lord.
It's all in the way.
So let it rain from up above, Lord. You are my God and God is love. Agape love is Christ's love. I surrender my life with no reservation, no hesitation. Through every trial and situation, every complication, every tear and every shattered dream.
He shows me mercy, He shows me love, He shows me His grace from heaven above. He showed me truth when all I did was lie. He showed me how to spread my wings and fly. He showed me life and He protected me from death. He showed me how to crucify this flesh. He increased my wisdom and gave me knowledge, understanding. So on His word I'm standing, it's a solid landing. And since He's been in my life, I've experienced the goodness that only comes from Christ. I've been born twice, and even this new life, I'm fighting against Satan, every dart and device he attempts to entice. I know death is the price, so I give him a shoulder blow that's colder than ice. And SKO, uppercut, body blow. For those that don't know, you reap what you sow through your character.
Characteristics